everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to the 4th episode of our Teen Titans Spotlight series.
This season not only brings new surprises and creative episodes, but also new villains and a huge storyline.
Now, this season also shows the series at its darkest. It still has some very fun episodes like Don't Touch That Dial and Mother Mea-Eye. The main story arc focuses on Raven and wanting to avoid her birthday, which is revealed to be the coming of her father and supposedly help him bring on the end of the world. You know, for kids.
Right. Yeah, I guess like, oh, you really want to go there? And I guess after you see this, you're probably thinking this is the end of the series. You're facing the ultimate evil. You're facing the Thanos, the dark side of Teen Titans. And then you get season 5, like, oh.
Yeah. As you said, this season, gets really, really dark. And the storyline for Raven was so unexpected, so thrilling to watch, but so disturbing at the same time.
Yeah. And at the same time, they still have a good balance. I think because of how dark the storyline could get, they went ahead and had a lot of lighthearted episodes this season. Like they had Employee of the Month, where it was just Beast Boy getting a job at a burger joint just so he could buy a moped, and he didn't want to work there because it was all meat. Yeah, they were having this investigation. There were UFOs wanting to abduct cows. Like, you really want to deal with that? Okay. And Beast Boy was having trouble keeping up with them because he was starting to get tired more. And no matter what animal he changed into, he was still lagging behind because he was tired.
Right.
But everyone else could fly, or they had a vehicle, so it was no problem for them. And he wanted to get a moped, and they were like, no. So he went and got a job so he could afford to get one. Mm-hmm. When he finished, and it was a really strange place. The food would come out of this what's the line?
The conveyor belt.
Yeah, it was a conveyor belt. I'm sorry, why I went blank there. The conveyor belt, and they would just order, and then they would get a burger, and they had all these different menus for these different foods, and all they have burgers. So yeah, and they had this guy Bob, who was, I guess, like one of those throwbacks to the old 50s characters that they is super neato. And he finds out that it's really run by an alien tofu called the Source, who wants to take control of all the cows on the earth and replace it with him, who was the food source too, and it was like, oh!
Yeah, that was,
It was funny, but kind of scary at that point too.
Right. Okay, and another lighthearted one
was Don't Touch That Dial. Mm-hmm. And it had two names because they couldn't figure out what to name the episode. It ended up being the production number and the title they came up with later.
So episode 257-494, a.k.a. Don't Touch That Dial.
And that's with Control Freak, and using his remote, he can bring TVs and everything electronic to life with it. And he accidentally gets them sucked into the TV wall. Mm-hmm. So they're going through, kind of like Fairly Odd Parents Channel Chasers, they're going through all these different shows of different varieties to get to Control Freak. And he was able to learn martial arts and stuff because time just, was non-existent in TV land.
Right.
And they go through all these different shows. Like they go through soap opera with some guy with an eye patch. They go through Dr. Seuss story. They do a call back to Looney Tunes. Mm-hmm. They do a Crocodile Dundee, cooking show, romance dramas, like old horror movies. They just do like everything, even to a point where they stop on Star Wars, and that's what like the ultimate fantasy for some people. And even all these shout outs to like the Jedi mind tricks and the Darth Vader Luke Skywalker battle in the dialogue.
Right.
And that was just a really fun one. There's even the best line in there when they get to the TV guy, and there's like all these channels and all these different shows, and they couldn't come up with a bunch of names, so some of them were kind of like bland ones. And Robin said, whoa, 5,000 channels, and Raven said, and still nothing on. It's like
yes, those are good. And so even, like you said, there were a few lighter ones, but also there were some darker ones. Now, one that I really, really liked that put Cyborg in his own episode without the Titans for the majority of the episode was Cyborg and the Barbarians. And that one was really interesting.
Right. He got all this state-of-the-art sound equipment and stuff, upgrade the tower. And then for some reason, which is actually explained later, he's transported back in time to the barbarian era in the middle of this big war between a tribe of warriors and these weird green alien bug creatures from space. And they're constantly fighting for, for the homeland.
Right.
And Cyborg was worrying about powering out because there was no electricity whatsoever, so he's actually trying to figure out other ways to create power so he could stay charged up because there was no electricity for him to, recharge with.
Right. And it was really, really riveting. And you got to see Cyborg in another light. You got to see him in another era. And like you said, his main concern was, I don't want to die here. I don't want my power out here, and I'm stuck here, and I can never go back, and it's over.
Right.
And then he meets the lady who's the leader of the barbarians, and she begins to trust him.
Right.
So it was good seeing him in a whole different light.
Yeah, it was really an unexpected episode. I mean, we've seen time travel episodes before, but I think the way they did handle this one was just very well done and very different. And it didn't follow a bunch of tropes that you see in other ones, like where a whole tribe accepts him, but one doesn't, or they gotta gain the trust, or there's something goes wrong with everything. So they did not do that this time.
Right. Now, I know Mother Mea-Eye is one of your favorites, so before I ask you about an episode, I don't know if it's a season or not, tell them about Mother Mea-Eye. Real trippy.
Yeah, my favorite episode of the season is probably the silliest episode ever, and that's going up against the one with
still
Larry.
A dark twist.
Yeah, it also going up against Mad Mod and the one with Larry. They have this seemingly kind old lady who apparently is taking care of them now, and
they look like little minis.
Yeah, for a little bit, and she's constantly baking them pies and taking care of them. She changed the tower and stuff, and that was their mom. And you for a while you don't know how or what happened to where she got there, because all of a sudden it's like she was always there, and they were always it's pretty much under her control, and they didn't realize it till Starfire got hit on the head in battle, and she saw Mother Mea for who she truly was, and the others didn't believe her because they were still under this pie trance. I mean, she would cook them all these pies. Like, okay, this is too much pie. And they even had a...
Dean would have loved it.
Yeah, and they had this scene where they had to go, fight crime and fight the Hive team, and they asked a couple new members. And they just looked so strange because she was treating them like little kids. And like Cyborg had on the raincoat and he couldn't move in it. Beast Boy had a giant pink bunny suit like Ralphie in the Christmas store, and he couldn't transform. Starfire had all winter wear, and it was in the middle of summer. And Raven had on the pigtails and a really yellow dress, and Robin had his hair slicked back. It was so funny. It's like they're not going to school. What is this? And it was just so funny how they moved everything. And yeah, it had this dark turn where you saw what Mother Mea-Eye truly was, but. Oh my gosh, from beginning to nearly the end, it was just so funny. And how and just in the jokes and stuff, it was just hilarious. And the stuff she would say, and they even had a guest star do her voice, who was, I guess, pretty well known in other movies. Unfortunately, I don't remember her name because she only appeared this one episode. She didn't do other voices and, show up again. But she was just a hilarious villain, and it was just hilarious and the most lighthearted episode of the season in the series.
Right. Now, again, you know me in the episodes. Is this the season, I'm thinking of 2 episodes, is this the season where they get taken over by a puppet master?
No, actually that was back in season 1.
Okay. Or is this the season where we learn more about Beast Boy and the team he was with prior to
That's
Teen
the next
Titans?
season.
Okay,
next
great.
season we get to that.
Okay, so see, continue.
And then finally we get back to the story arc that focused on Raven, where it was her birthday.
And that's the prophecy.
Yes,
okay.
The prophecy. And they were also at first everyone of course was excited, like, oh, I get to celebrate her birthday, and she did not want to celebrate no matter. She just wanted to stay in her room until the day was over, and they didn't understand why.
Right.
And then you find out later that part of her destiny was to bring her father in, and Slade was helping him, like he's back again.
Well, they describe it as her destiny is to destroy the world.
Yeah, and she would open this portal to bring him, and he would conquer the earth.
Ooh,
yeah,
oh, that was
and
dark,
she didn't want to do it.
Dark.
And see, how she is in this series, and she wants to do good. She did not want to do. She just wanted the day to be over. Like if she stayed in her room and didn't do anything,
and they wanted to help her, and she was like, "No, I don't want you to get hurt. I don't want anything worse to happen to you." But of course, none of them listened to her, and each one had these really dark and extreme experiences happening, trying to protect her and trying to keep this destiny from coming about. Right. They were more worried about her being hurt, killed, or becoming someone she wasn't than they were about themselves.
Right. And also probably some pretty graphic imagery that kind of pushed the envelope for kids shows at the time, because nowadays, thanks to Gravity Falls, you can get away with quite a bit. Right, but at the time, that was kind of risque what they were doing within the episode and the imagery and just the storyline itself.
Right.
And then eventually we got to
the last 3-part ending of the series, the end parts 1, 2, and 3.
Yes, and you were thinking that's the end of the show once again because of what they were going up against. And yeah, it showed where she had to do it, and there was literally no other way to avoid it because no matter what they did, it was happening.
Right.
And, well, yeah, her father came and took over the world. Everything was turned to stone or dust. It was the apocalypse, basically. Right. And he was reigning over. But the Titans were still okay because she had protected them with her powers. So they were trying to still figure out how they beat him. And she was saying, you can't beat him. He was like pretty much the ultimate, like I said, the Thanos of the show. Like, you can't beat him. But they were still trying to find ways to do it. And in the episodes they had where they tried to do these different techniques to beat him, Robin went to find Raven because they didn't know where she was. And she was kind of reduced to a little girl because of what happened. And the others were fighting their evil selves, and they kind of knew them in and out because they couldn't beat them. So the whole episode they were fighting themselves until they came with the idea to just switch with each other,
and then they started kicking butt.
Yeah, they're like, you can't beat yourself. It's impossible. Unless you find some ex machina out of it. So, but of course things work out and the world restored to normal.
And it was really the first time, if I'm not mistaken, was this before Avatar?
I think this is probably not the same time.
So this was one of they were groundbreaking in having a 3-part finale.
Right.
Because up to then you maybe have 1 or 2.
Right.
But they had 3 parts for the finale.
Right.
Did Shaolin Showdown do it too?
Well, yeah, what they had with the time after time at the end of the series, and then the Judging Omi 3-parter. So yeah,
right. So yeah, it was similar to that, and it was great. It was great. I mean, and you couldn't have either part without the other because each one was complete and furthering the story and letting you know what you needed to know about the backstory and everything.
Right. And this was the darkest season ever. Season 5 got a little dark, but I don't think it was near to the extent of Season 4.
Right.
Just for the storyline and the episodes. Oh, we also need to mention another iconic episode called Troq, where they meet this alien hero named Val-Yor, and they help him repair his ship and help him destroy this planet of cybernetic aliens that want to wipe out everything. And at the time, it seemed like, he's friendly with everybody, but as you pay attention, it's revealed he's treating everybody with utmost respect except Starfire, and keeps calling her Troq. And eventually, she finds out what he really thinks about her, and it's revealed that he's one of these people that believe Tamarines are inferior to other species.
But she knew it.
Right.
It's the other team members didn't know.
Right.
And they kept asking, why does he call you that?
And she kept
what
saying,
does it mean?
It means nothing. And Saba was thinking, oh, well, so it's no big deal. But no, he's calling her worthless and nothing.
Right.
And this was kind of a surprising take because they pretty much just tackled their own take on racism.
Exactly.
But without using in-your-face thing or even using cyber, they used something completely different, but the message was still coming across like, whoa, this is really messed up. And then, eventually after the Titans, she told them what was going on. They just didn't want to deal with him anymore after they were done helping. It was like, you need to leave now. And even towards the end, you're like, oh, they learned their lesson. Val-Yor didn't learn anything. You're like, oh, you're one of the good ones. It's like, It's like, no, just because I say doesn't make me better than anyone else. I'm trying to pay you a compliment. And finally they said, well, why does it still sound like an insult?
Exactly.
And then they had the moral, of course, at the end is like, you'll be with the people that accept for who you are and don't judge you by anything, of course. And it just wasn't in your face. It was just a really well done lesson and pretty iconic for this series.
Yeah. So, tell them about the special features of this set.
Okay, so this one is the top secret files for the Teen Titans called Know Your Foes Featurette Gallery, where you kind of have this art gallery where you use your remote to go through these different pictures. And they have the storyboard art and the model sheets for the characters and how they're supposed to look. And it has so many, both hero and villain, that there was a lot for them to show. So you can see all the villains they've had in the series and all the heroes, and you get to see what they look like on the model sheets and the turnabout. So it's kind of like almost collectors if you could print them out.
Yeah. So that about does it for us for this podcast.
Right.
So join us tomorrow for our last our last podcast on Teen Titans Season 5.
Yeah. The 5th and final and unexpected season, because we were thinking it was going to go to Season 6.
So our 5th podcast on the series.
Right.
But Saturday, there's a podcast on the Trouble
in Tokyo
movie.
Yeah. Okay, so tune in for that. I'm Oscar Entertainment.
And I'm Mama Entertainment.
Have a toon-tastic day.
Peace.
Teen Titans.
And reporters sitting, flashing lights, trying to walk around, man, who the hell are you? What you wanna do? Well, man, it's on you. Man, it's on you. And her in my dreams, she was my queen. A castle in the mountaintops, rivers and streams. Plucking sunlight from the sky in my pocket. Give it to you later on in the form of a locket.